Here on PhotowalksTV, we like to bring you to some of the most photographable places on the planet, and today is no exception because we are right outside Driggs, Idaho, in the heart of the Teton Valley. This, of course, is the other side of the Grand Tetons National Park that you know so well from Jackson Hole. On this side, it's a whole lot cheaper to stay and eat, and of course, the countryside and the back roads are just totally awesome. Stay tuned, and I'll show you some of my favorite shots. And for the photographer who likes to eat, and I think that's everybody, the town of Victor in the Teton Valley is said to have the best hamburger of all time, the best Idaho cut French fries, and of course, the Huckleberry milkshake that we visited in last year's episode. We're going to go back again. Is it as great as I said? Let's find out. First, some logistics. What is known as the Teton Valley is actually right over the border in Idaho and consists of 3 small towns, Victor, Driggs, and tiny Tetonia. I actually found the best views of the Tetons in Driggs and Tetonia. The valley is a 45-minute drive from Jackson over the pass, which reopened quickly in 2024 after part of the road collapsed. Jackson itself is a lot closer to the Grand Tetons National Park, but it's so pricey. It's considered one of the most expensive places in the U.S. to live, which is why so many people commute from the valley to work there. They can't afford to live in Jackson. Your stay in the valley will be a lot less expensive.
Cheaper, great food. Yes, it's beautiful, pretty chill.
Okay, let's begin in Victor, a small town that is very walkable. It's about 3 blocks worth, and it's where we will end up for lunch and dessert. First, I really like this bike path, which separates you from cars and lets you go on bike or on foot all the way to Driggs. Yes, there are bike rental shops in Victor. Now, there's just something about being on the other side of the Tetons. Victor is where I caught some of my favorite sunsets. This shot was from the lawn of the motel we were staying in. For a great sunset shot, as always, timing is everything. The sunset itself is nice, but remember that the best colors usually appear 10 to 15 minutes afterwards. My biggest photo highlight in the valley was getting great shots from the back roads, with and without the Tetons. For them, I had to drive to Driggs and Tetonia and just pull down those great roads. I naturally opened up for a time-lapse every time as well. With these clouds, how could I not? My location? I drove through Driggs and I turned right on 4000 North and then drove down the road as far as I could to get as close as I could to the Tetons. Photo tips: you want to capture the Tetons, you want to begin with a big wide shot 0.5, and of course you want to zoom in with your telephoto depending on which phone you have. You might have a 2x, 3x, 5x. This shot right now is a 2x, and I will show you what it looks like at 5x. You can get, even on your smartphone, a really nice close-up of the Tetons on your phone. Check it out. I fell in love with this abandoned shack on the side of the road in Tetonia. With a view like this, how could you give it up? It just makes no sense. But what does make sense is to grab some great photos of it. And now that we have our object and our image, let's take the photo to the next level with some editing. We'll begin with the Apple Photos app, where I'm going to use the first slider, the magic wand, for overall brightening, and use the other sliders to increase the exposure just a bit, plus brilliance and shadows. The most important slider, which is black point, goes up around 50% and will boost the colors. I'm also interested in seeing a black and white version to let out my inner Ansel Adams and have eyes focused on the subject rather than the colors. It's more classic that way, I think. And for this, I click on the Filters tab at the bottom of the Photos app, where I have 3 flavors of black and white: mono, silver tone, and noir. Here, I like mono because it's kind of less extreme. But for contrast, let's look at 2 newer apps which both offer one-click improvements. Luminar costs $30 a year to use, and you can do things like replace skies, make people disappear from the shot, and boost the overall color. Instead of a slider, we use a boost wheel to go from one side to the next. And this looks great. I like how it brought out the green grass and made it even brighter. For black and white, Luminar has 7 different flavors of black and white. I like the one with the blue filter. Finally, let's check out Radiant, which also costs $30 yearly. Very simply, I click Enhance and I watch the green get greener. And now if I want black and white, I will click the Looks tab and try out the 7 varieties of black and white. But frankly, I'm not crazy for any of them. The sky is blown out. But I will settle for the warm look. That said, now let's have some fun and compare. For the color shots, you can see the edit in Apple Photos clearly makes a full image come alive, while the Radiant edit went too far for my taste and made everything too bright. And Luminar got it just right. Take a look back to back. Let me know your pick in the comments. For the black and white shots, again, Radiant is too bright for me, and I prefer how Luminar handled the sky. Again, let me hear from you in the comments. For more on editing, check out our tutorial right here on the channel. Beyond the shack, you'll find the tiny village of Tetonia, a great name for a town in the Teton Valley, which sports a gas station, a bar, and not much else. But again, great for photos, especially black and white of this old bar. Driggs, which is actually larger than Victor, sporting a huge supermarket, historic buildings, and more restaurants. Go north from here and you will begin to see the rolling hills and farmlands. Okay, now that we've gone that far, let's head back to Victor because I'm a little hungry. All right, so my friend Eric Kuna claims that here in Victor, Idaho is home of the greatest hamburger and best Idaho cut French fries in the world. Is Eric telling the truth? Is it as great as he says? Well, we're going to walk in and we're going to find out. So come on.
Our burgers are made in-house. Our ranch is made in-house. We have a fry sauce along with our French fries are cut in-house.
So I asked the server, what's the most photographable hamburger specialty here at Brakeman's? And of course, they have a lot of specialty burgers. They have the Yellowstone burger and the Roundhouse burger and the Union Pacific burger and the Oregon Shortline burger and the Barnyard Special and the Crazy Brakeman. This is the one she recommended. It's available in quarter pound or half pound. I chose for quarter pound. It's a $19 hamburger that is topped with all the favorites. We're talking bacon, and I'm quoting. We're talking bacon, grilled onions, grilled mushrooms, and jalapenos, all smothered in a melted Colby Jack cheese, served with lettuce, tomato, onion, and mayo. This burger is crazy in flavor and size. Now remember, this is a photography show, but all photographers eventually get hungry and they like to eat. So when in Victor, Idaho, why not? What do we got there? Oh boy. And that is it, huh? Okay, that is crazy. The first question is going to be, how does one's mouth go over this? How will I do this? Do I just take a bite on one? Or can one actually put in something into the mouth and make it wide open? I think you just have to nip at. So let's give it a try. Okay, here we go. Oh! Wow. That's really good. Yeah. And French fries? And I don't know if I'm willing to say the best French fries ever. The best ones I've had today. Eric, great recommendation. Thank you very much. Next stop, Huckleberry milkshake, right? Oh my God. Well, we did have to take a little rain check on the Huckleberry milkshake.
Yeah, I know.
Our dessert, as a massive rain started pouring down with giant pieces of hail. So rain check, and till tomorrow afternoon for that Huckleberry shake. Okay, so we're back at the scene of the crime. The greatest Huckleberry milkshake of all time, per when I said a year ago on the last video at the Emporium in Victor, Idaho. And sequel time. Let's see. Is it still the greatest Huckleberry Shake? I'd like to have a Huckleberry Shake. I want to see if it's still the greatest shake of all time. You think it will be?
I think it will be.
And you still have huckleberries in June?
Yes, sir. We keep freezing downstairs.
Wow. How many shakes do you guys make a day?
We average on a normal summer day around like 700.
700 shakes a day.
Yeah, on like a regular summer day.
Wow.
The most we've ever made is like 1,125.
Wow. And are they mostly huckleberry?
Yeah.
Here come 2 huckleberry milkshakes. Thank you. Wow. I just chewed on a few huckleberries within the ice cream. Really, really great. From the Emporium in Victor, Idaho, in the heart of the Teton Valley, home of the greatest huckleberry milkshake in the world, I'm Jefferson Graham. Thank you for watching PhotowalksTV. Please stay tuned. We have many, many episodes in the West, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, you name it, we're there. So I hope you'll stay tuned and join me on the next episode of PhotowalksTV.